The brainwave of Pakistan Fashion Week came from Adnan Ansari, and Chris East, who is not here, he's not in London at the moment, who realised the potential of hosting Pakistan Fashion Week in London. Adnan has many talents and has built up his experience in fashion and media world over 2 decades. Sahiba Kaur, who is sitting to my left, is the backbone of this event, who is doing a superb job of putting all the pieces together. Sahiba Kaur is no stranger to the fashion industry, and she used to work for Cosmopolitan magazine in India before coming to London. Before we open up for question and answer, I'd like to hand over to Adnan, who will introduce himself and give you a glimpse of some of the designers in his presentation.
Hello, and thank you everyone for coming today. As Sarah has already mentioned quite a lot about this event, I would just give you a little brief of myself, what my background is. I moved to Youth London like 2 years back, and before coming here I was the creative head for the Pakistan Television. Before that I used to work for another private channel, which is Jio Television, so I have a background of television, media and fashion for almost 2 decades. So this idea came into my mind when I moved to London, and I got to know that there's a market of the Pakistani fashion scene, what is happening in Pakistan, and that's where I realized that I should bring those designers, those who doesn't have recognition in the Western market. And then me and Sahiba, we sat together and thought about it, and Chris East, who's unfortunately is not present today, we all got together, put our head together, and then we came up with this idea that like designers like as she's mentioned, Saira, like Akif Mahmood or Zahir Abbas and Adnan Pardesi, they are the few designers that I'm just naming them. They are the one that the first time they are going to Paris, Milan Fashion Week next month before our show, and they are opening and closing the 3 days event. So it was the first time. So if some foreign people can promote, our Pakistani young talented designer, those who can't afford, to come up, have a big platform to come on board, have a name or recognition. So that's where I thought, I should help something, being a Pakistani or an Asian or an South Asian, to give them a platform where they can prove themselves what they are. Like, I'll just tell you a little bit about these young designers. Mohsin Ali is from Quetta. He has developed a new design element in his clothes by making this quilting that you normally use them in winters, what they call it lihaf in Urdu. He has converted those into jackets and coats and everything, which is like hot selling item these days in Paris. Zahir Abbas, who's experimenting with chiffon, he used like 30 yards of chiffon in a gown, and the kind of stuff he is doing, the color combinations and everything. So these are the young, these kind of designers, and I thought why should give them something and to come up with a platform. And the biggest support I have from everybody, I would like to thank people from NUPSA and from PYF. They've been great support for us, and working with us together to bring this this whole event, putting up together. This is the brief about myself and why I'm doing this. I'll hand over to Sahiba, a bit about herself. She would say something. But she's been a bit reluctant.
Basically, me and Adnan have worked together in the past, and that's where we met. And it was his brainwave where he decided he's been working on this for almost 1.5 to 2 years. And just helping him put this together and making sure that this does work out for us, and hopefully it will.
Yeah, and I would like them to say something.
My name is Saad Sultan. Assalamu alaikum and good evening to everyone. It is indeed a pleasure, and we are thankful to Mr. Adnan Ansari that he has provided us this opportunity, that we are officially supporting Pakistan Fashion Week London this time, and being one of the greatest sport of youth here in London. I mean, it is a great opportunity that Pakistani students and youth are actually collaborating. They're actually being a part of this event, and especially with fashion background and media. So we feel obliged, and Pakistan Youth Foundation, and I'm being representative as a senior vice president. We are highly thankful to Mr. Adnan Ansari and Sahiba Kaur. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adnan, Saad, Saira, and Sahiba. First of all, I would like to thank every one of you for coming at such a short notice. By way of introduction, I am acting president and union liaison officer of National Union of Pakistani Students and Alumni. It's NUPSA. I would just like to start by telling what NUPSA is. It's a union of 45 UK universities, 29 Pakistani students associations and universities, and 5 Canadian universities. We are proudly supporting, we are proudly also co-organizing London Pakistan Fashion Week. We are actually mobilizing students and alumni community of Pakistan here in UK for this greater event, because this event is one of a kind. For after a very long time, it is first like a very big event outside Pakistan, and we are proudly supporting it in terms of providing volunteers, giving hosting rights and other administrative tasks and other duties for this event.
Yeah, I would like to thank those two gentlemen, and that because of them, that we have got big support from them as well. It's for young people, it's for young talented designers. So if you see the list of the name of the designers that we have mentioned, they're not really famous like the established designers. So they are all the new designers, but those have made a big wave in the fashion industry all over the world. If you see those, even the TV channels and the newspaper, the designers that I've mentioned, those who are doing this fashion week, you can see their profiles and everything. And we are very thankful for all of the designers, those who have come on board, Nupsa and PYF, Saira and Sahiba, for me to join hands together to make my dream come true, which I always wanted to, the project, not even negative or positive, but a real image of South Asia. This is what we are. This is what we have gone through. We are not anymore B-class or third world country, but we have a talent. We would like to prove that who we are and show the world what we can do.